Good day everyone, welcome back to BST African Electronic Surgery, and let's fix something on a Thursday. What do we have? We have, let me take it. We have this TV. You see this TV? Keson 24-inch TV, DC 12 volts 3 amps. This is a solar TV, some kind of solar TV, 12 volts 3 amps. Okay, without wasting time, let's supply that voltage. The power supply is on 11, you can see 11.98. And what current do we have? We have 2.6 amps, 3 amps. You can see on the screen it's taking like 53 milliamps standby current, and obvious we don't have the standby light. We don't have the standby light. Even if you press the power on button, the TV is just dead, it's not doing anything. You see? So that is the problem. That is the problem with this TV. So what I will do, I will take out the motherboard and we'll try to find out the problem, why this TV has no standby light, is not turning on. Okay? Let's see now. Let's see now. So that's the motherboard, and here we have the panel for the buttons, power on button, volume up, volume down, and the other many buttons. So obviously I've done visual inspection, and you can see this capacitor. It's got a bump on top, some kind of bulged capacitor, 16 volts, 470 micro. And here we have a blown up chip here. Okay, so let's start checking some things. Ground, we can get ground from any metal things. What I want to check on the pin number 8 of the EEPROM IC, the BIOS, the memory chip. Pin number 8 is not shorted to ground. Okay, that's a good sign. Here we have a small coil. And this is shorted to ground, and this one is shorted to ground. We have this capacitor. Okay, this electrolyte capacitor is shorted to ground. So we have a problem here. We have a problem. Let's go on a microscope and see together. So what do we have here? We have this chip. This looks like the sound IC. CS85-636S. That's the sound chip. And we have the main processor. And next we have that XMC on pin number 8. Pin number 8 is not shorted to ground. We checked on this pin. This one, it's not shorted to ground. And on this coil, check on this coil. You can see that blown up chip, 6-leg chip. This looks like the driver for 5 volts power supply. Okay, and this electrolyte capacitor is reading a short, and that capacitor which has got a bump on top, you can see the capacitor. Check this capacitor, it's not flat on top. Okay, so how do we treat this? And I don't even know this chip. I don't have this chip. So basically the board just exploded here. Let's take down this chip. And the other problem, the tracks are no more. No more tracks here. All the tracks, they are blown up. No more, no tracks anymore. And besides that, no tracks. And another challenge, I don't have this chip. So without the chip, the short is gone. If I'm to check on the back of on this capacitor, where we checked here, and the short is gone. So now the problem is where to find this chip. That is the biggest problem. Where do we find this chip? Where we can find this chip? How we will treat the situation? The good part is the short is gone. If you can check here, on all the power supply, the short is. So this chip has something to do with this coil, which I believe is the 5 volts driver, 5 volts power supply driver. While it's thinking what to do, let's replace the capacitor. Let's replace that capacitor of the bump. While it's thinking how we will modify this. How we will modify this while it's trying to find out a better way to solve the problem. What about using a linear regulator 7805? I think a linear regulator, that's the way to go. Yeah, this capacitor, do you have many of them? Plenty of them. I think we can use linear regulator here to supply 5 volts for the standby. So after replacing the electrolyte capacitor, I'll look for 7805 linear regulator. and try to do some tricks together. So how is everyone? How is everyone? Someone requested me to do a video about the tools which I'm using. I've done that video some time ago, but I'll try to do it again because I modified few things on my desk. So I'll try to redo the video again. I'll try to redo that video again. But I'm just using basic tools. Nothing special about the tools which I'm using. Those are just basic tools. Our capacitor is now in place. Let's resolder the pins of the capacitor. Now I have to look for 7805 linear regulator. Hopefully I'll find the one here. I do have so many of those regulators. Where can I get one? Regulator. Where can I get one? Let me look for the regulator and I'll come back, okay? Let's see now. I found all exactly the same. I don't know what I was trying to do. You can see with all these wires, this is 7805. 7805 linear regulator. So now what we need to do, the short is gone, here is gone, okay. On that capacitor which we checked before, there's no more short anymore. So what I would do, before replacing with 7805, I want to check with the power supply. Connecting the power supply, now is taking 10 milliamps standby current. Still we don't have a standby light because the 5 volts is not connected. So I'll use a second adjustable power supply and connect straight on that capacitor which is on the output. We must have a standby light on the plus of the capacitor, and there's voltage drop to 2.8 and it's taking 2.2 amps. Why? Why? Yeah, this repair can be complicated because this coil is generating 5 volts for the standby, and that chip which we took out, which was blown up, that's the driver. So coming straight on the coil, let me use another power supply so that you see what I'm seeing here. Let's lower the voltage to 5 volts. .8 volts, and it comes straight on the coil. What? Check on the screen. Voltage dropped to 3.8 volts and is taking 3 amps. So something is still shorted there. We still have a shorted power line. Why? Let me lower the current. 1.8 amps. What is still shorted here? We took out the blown up chip, but still we have a shorted component somewhere, somehow. I'm curious to see straight on the coil. It's taking 1.8 amps. Oh, yeah, that's the worst case. That's the worst case. Check here. Check what's going on here. I will tell you when I'm injecting the 5 volts. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Not all faults they are meant to be fixed. I can't fix this board for this simple reason. You see why I can't fix. The process has gone. It's shorted. Check. That's the processor. The processor is shorted. So I found many boards, especially this kind of boards with the shorted processor. Again, check. It's drying quickly. So it's taking that 1.8 amps is going to the processor. So That is the reason why I can't fix this. Injecting power. Check out drying, how quickly it's drying so quickly. So yeah, one more time, coming with 5 volts. Check, it's drying quickly. So yeah, that's the thing with faults. Not all faults they are meant to be fixed. And yeah, this is the last point. When we realize that the processor is gone and you can't do anything. I found many, especially these small boards. Trust me, I found many with the shorted processor. The processor is shorted. So there's no way we can use 7805 to fix this board. There's no way. Let's lower the voltage to 1.8 volts and see 0.7 volts. Let's go on the VCC pin of this EPROM IC. I'm curious to see the kind of current it's taking 84 milliamps and the chip is getting warm. So going with 1.7 on that power supply is taking 532 milliamps. For a non-working board, that's too much. And what is drawing that 536 milliamps is the processor. Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, not all faults they are meant to be fixed. I'm sorry, I couldn't fix this one, but from my conclusion, I would say the main controller is shorted, and that is the point when I will stop and condemn the motherboard as not fixable. How much is this TV? It's very cheap. So the customer in this case has to buy another TV, or I have to look for another motherboard just to help the customer. let me check. This one we can't fix it, but let's see. I found something, this one. The boards looks the same, but they are not the same. So let's see this board. Maybe we can help the customer. Who knows? This one I can't fix it. I can't. But let's test a different board. Maybe we can help the customer. .7. Let's see if this board works. This is just a board for space. But I don't know the condition of this board. Yeah, it has a standby light. Where's the power on button? On. And it's changing to green. You see? So it seems as if this board is working. So let me put all together and we'll come back for testing. Yeah, it's not a good day for work. So I checked even with this board. The board is coming on, but has got no display. I spent about 30 minutes trying to understand why this board is not displaying anything. This one is the original board of the customer with the blower, with this controller, which is shorted, okay? The main chip, the main processor, whatever you call it, processor, main controller, microcontroller chip. This is shorted. That's the original board. And what did I found from my scrapers? I found this board. This board is responding, is turning on when you press the power on button, but the challenge is it doesn't have display. And you know, if you get something like no display, the next thing you say either you have problem with the EEPROM IC. And what I did, I checked everything, and I found something which I believe is the cause of no display. Let me show you on a microscope, of which I can't fix the fault. Yeah, it's not a good day for work. So let's check together the second board. Check here. That's the main controller. And there's a pin which is missing here. You see this pin? The pin is broken straight from the main chip, from the chip side. And there's no way you can resolder this pin back. So this controller has got one pin which is missing, and that can explain why the board is coming on but not display. Otherwise, the rest of the board looks fine. So yeah, so what I'll do, yeah, that's a fail repair. 30 minutes just spent for nothing. I can see on my OBS it's now close to 30 minutes. And yeah, trying to fix this cheap TV. Unfortunately, I couldn't fix the TV for the simple reasons. This one, we are facing the problem with the main controller or the processor. On the second board, almost the same issue. So I'll stop this video now. Like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell, and see you on the next one. I'm quite disappointed.